years old. Supreme. 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 Let's have some fun on this Gregorian Saturday morning. Let's have some fun. You know, I used to wake up Saturday mornings and I used to watch cartoons. X-Men, Spider-Man, Superman, the Fantastic Four. I should have used those. I should have put them on here as well. But I used to wake up in the morning and I used to watch these cartoons faithfully. You know what I mean? Religiously, I used to watch these cartoons in the morning. And little did they know that they was literally telling us right in front of our faces who we are and our divine connection to the sun. So Starseeds, this video pretty much for you too. Matter of fact, this video is for you. And abundance, supreme abundance. So Starseeds, this video is for you because I remember myself waking up in the morning, especially Saturday morning. Now they got cartoons on all week now, all day long now on Cartoon Network. But I used to wake up in the mornings and I would watch these cartoons, especially Saturday mornings, you know, and they would captivate me. And now I understand learning science, all branches of science, the basics of all branches of science, remembering that, coming back into my memory, I see why I like certain movies and certain animation movies, certain cartoons, certain, you know, sci-fi movies. And the reason why we gravitate to those things because they actually tell us the truth. The movies that makes the most money always tells you the most truth. This is why you understand. This is why Sinners is making so much money. This is why Avatar made so much money. This is why Transformers make so much money. This is why, you know, Spider-Man made so much money. That's why the Incredible Hulk made so much money. Even Black Adam, and they don't want to tell you that made money too. That movie made a lot of money too, because these movies, when they get to telling you the truth, it unlocks something inside of you. But what keeps us in such a submissive state is that they depict all the characters as the complex cell. So all the complex cells. So even The Rock, right? Even The Rock that played Black Adam, he's not black. He's not organically us. He's a result of mixed breeding, raping and mixed breeding. That is what The Rock is. And it's okay. It's okay to accept your role. However, you know, it is what it is. If you don't accept who you are internally, you would never be able to accept anyone externally. And you will always have some sort of disdain for other people if you don't have any love and value and appreciation for yourself. So I'm going to wait for this to get back over to the very beginning, and I'm going to go through each one of these characters. I have Spider-Man on here. I have the Incredible Hulk. I have Superman on here. And I have Black Adam, and I have Predator. Now, the one thing about each and every last one of those characters, right? All of them get their energy from the sun. So if you want to say Predator, how do you know he absorbs his energy from the sun? Because what is the preferred climate that the Predator loves to be in? Extreme hot climate. So all of them get their energies from the sun. So we're going to start with Spider-Man once this goes back around. So right here, this is not Spider-Man. This is the fictional character of Predator. The movies implied to have a preferred for hot equatorial climates, prefer to have hot equatorial climates. Even though they can survive in cold, they prefer to have hot. And then if you look at the genetic makeup of the Predator, he has locks in his hair, shape. He has that reptilian skin, that scaly skin. And if you look at black people with your hands, we have web hands. And if you look at our hands when they dry or something, you will see that we have scaly skin, because those scales in our skin actually absorb solar radiation. So just like when you see a crocodile sunbathing all day, those melanocytes in our cells that absorbs solar radiation. So when you look at this right here, that's the so-called black man right there. That's the black race right there. So I don't want to read this part because this is at the end right here, because the predator and the climatologist is at the end. So I'm gonna wait till it start back over, so we can get back in. So anybody can tell me, because it's getting ready to start over. Let's talk about Spider-Man. How did Spider-Man get his powers? Anybody know how Spider-Man got his powers? See, they don't really get too far than that. He was bitten by a radioactive spider, a spider that possessed radiation, and he was bitten by a radioactive spider that transmuted his blood into radiation, solar power. This is why it gave Spider-Man the abilities that he had. Bingo. See that right there? And look at the colors of that spider, green and red. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the colors. Notice they will always depict the color green, because green is gamma radiation. That's the most powerful and strongest radiation, solar radiation in the planet. They will always use green. This is why you see the aurora borealis. You see purple. You see green. Green is a very important color because that's one of the highest, or the highest, strongest. And then when you go over to the Incredible Hulk, how did the Incredible Hulk become the Incredible Hulk? In a science lab dealing with nuclear energy, it exploded. Radiation bonded with the cells in his body that created a super internal human that he can come out and protect himself. And mind you, the Incredible Hulk was not violent. He just didn't like violence. He did not like violence. And look, green, you can't destroy energy. Here goes Superman. How do they depict Superman? Where does Superman get his powers from? What? If Superman get his powers from what? The sun. He gets his powers from where? All the movies show Superman absorbing solar radiations. Absorbing solar radiation. All the movies show him absorbing solar radiation. Every last one of them. If Superman gets his powers from the sun, only soaking up a portion of its energy, how does he wind up becoming cosmically more powerful than the sun as a whole? I mean, he's held, I gotta wait till that move up a little bit, or I can't see it because of the writing. He's held a black hole. He has held an entire black hole in his hand at one time. And at the end it says there is no explanation for that. But the whole point of this, if Superman gets his powers from the sun, then you go to Black Adam. In some portrayals, Black Adam has been depicted drawing power from the sun, which could be seen as charging up from it. This aligns with the concept of solar energy being a potential source of power for him, drawing inspiration from the ancient Egyptian gods associated with the sun. This is Black Adam. Black Adam. See, I'm going to keep on going with this. Look, and we live in an electric universe. We live in an electric universe. If you look at your brain looks just like the solar system, and it's an electric universe. Your brain is a neural network. What makes this fiction, the science part is correct. What makes this fiction is him, because they cannot do what we do. They cannot absorb the sunlight. Here we go. While not explicitly stated or shown in every portrayal, Black Adam as an ancient god king is often depicted as drawing power from the sun and cosmic energy. This aligns with the Egyptian god he is associated with. Well, I gotta wait till this move up some because I can't see because of I'm already shut off the comments. Who often held solar deities as their deities. Oh, absorption. You can pull up black body radiation. Absorption. Ancient god king Black Adam's origin story involves a time when he was a god king in ancient Egypt, which connects him to the worship of solar deities. Solar and cosmic powers. While he is known for his lightning powers, some interpretations suggest that he can also draw powers from the sun. Hold up. I gotta shut these comments off because in order for me to read at the bottom. Yes, in this context, the fictional species predator from the movies, they are implied to have a preference for hot external climates. Though they can survive in colder environments, their blood also described as having luminescent phosphorus green color. Notice, even in the predator, their blood is what color? Their blood is what color? Huh? What color is gamma radiation? What color do you see the planet majority of? Green. So again, they give you all of this right in front of your faces, and they put it in these cartoons, in these sci-fi movies, so that way that you can be like, oh, that's just some entertainment. But it's not entertainment. Even look at the predator eyes. Look at his eyes. Look at his hair. Look at his stature. Now, people think the predator was just some fighting machine. No, they didn't. Okay, here we go. Yes, climatologist says the planet is continuing to heat up. This is recent. Climatologist says that the planet is continuing to heat up, and this warming is driven by the human's activity, primarily an emission of what? Greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases, gamma radiation. The Earth average surface temperature has increased by about 1.1 Celsius, 1.9 Fahrenheit since the pre-industrial period, 1850 to 1900. Projected warming over the next century, even with aggressive mitigation efforts, is expected to be at least twice as much as the warming seen in the last year. Excuse me. I gotta hold on, people. I don't want to shut the comments. I don't want to shut the comments off while I'm talking, while I'm reading this. But at the bottom portion of it, I hope everybody got what I was saying and I was reading, because this is all regarding, look, radioactive. You can see that. Radioactive spider. See that right there? Radioactive spider. Radioactive spider. All of it. See, every one of these movies, the last one, climate change, that I was showing you, is the planet is heating up. And if you look at the movie Predator, what did the Asian woman say about Predator when they show up? She said every few hundred, a few certain amount of years, the planet gets to a certain temperature, and when the temperature start heating up, she said she started to find their men without their skin, and they was fucked up. So Predator always liked to be around when it was real heated. Now look at the planet and look at what you see that's happening. All of these characters get their energy from the sun, every last one of them, and not one of them are depicted as us. They are all depicted as them. However, they all are speaking about our supernatural abilities, our divine connection with that gas giant up in the sky. Every last one of them. So no matter what people try to sit there and say, you can talk all the crap you want, but unless you possess this black body right here, this carbon, this plasma, and magnetism, unless you possess that, and the only way you can possess this is that your soul has to match the sun and the cosmos. That's the problem. Y'all think it's about your physical body. It's not. It's about your soul. My soul inhabits it. So my soul is the energy that is flowing through this body that created this phenotype. So therefore, my soul matches the sun and the cosmos. So my body is put in a position where as though it can absorb every bit of every electromagnetic energy that is flowing throughout the planet, whether it's good or bad. I have the ability to absorb it all. I also have the ability to shut off low frequencies. I don't have the ability to shut off high frequency because I'm a natural high frequency. I have ability to ignore high frequency and dwell in low frequency, but to shut me completely off, no, because your body is always reminding you. Your body is always reminding you of what you're doing wrong. No matter if you eat something wrong, your body is going to react to you. If you eat something good, your body is going to react to you. If you sit in a house all day and don't sit outside in the sun, your body is going to react to you. It's automatically, your body does not have a choice but to move in a high frequency. You are making the choice to live in a low frequency. Your body doesn't have a choice. When you straighten your hair out, what happens to your hair as soon as you go out in the sun, or you break a sweat, or you get in water? It kinkles right back up. You don't have a choice in the matter. You have a choice to you have a deception of choice, but you truly don't have a choice. So hold on, let me see if somebody wrote me a message. How long is it? How long is what going to take? What are you asking? Or how long what's going to take? How long what's going to take? People are what are you asking about? How long is what going to take? If you asking how long is it going to take for you to continue to live in this world, because you still live in the world mentally. You have to exit this world mentally first. And then when you exit the world mentally, then you will see how it's exiting physically. You have to let go of what you think that you need versus you have to let go what you think you need and know what you need. And you have to let go your wants. Let go your wants. So you was asking me how long is it going to take? It didn't take. I lived in misery my whole life until I started learning anatomy and learning the truth. No matter how many vacations I went on, no matter how many beaches I laid up on, no matter how many jet skis and parties I went through, I was miserable my whole entire life. And you don't realize how miserable you are until you actually wake up. Because this is misery. When you can have $10,000 in your pocket and then 2 days later, you got $2,000 in your pocket and you don't know what the fuck you spent it on. You have nothing to show what you spent your money on. That's misery. Yes, absolutely. That's misery, that you can go from paycheck to paycheck, that you can just go out here and spend $200, $300, $400 on a pair of sneakers. That's misery. You want to believe it's not misery, but that's misery. That's misery. Most people that be on these platforms don't even have $1,000 saved up. They don't have $1,000 emergency money. They don't. Let's just being honest. Why do you think NFL players and football players, why do you think they go broke 3 years after them being out of the so-called league? It has nothing to do about them, just being illiterate with money. It's them also being in an infant state mind. It's also about them being foolish. A fool and his money will part ways. A fool and his energy will part ways, because your money is your energy. Once you're able to realize that, hey, I don't need this world. The world needs me. But I'm a prisoner of war physically in this world. But I'm not going to put myself in these people's position, put myself in these people's hands, whereas though that they can continue to abuse me. See, once you start to wake up, then you won't be asking, how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take? It's already happening right in front of your faces. You can't see other races of people don't want to walk out in the sun. You can't see that their hair is thinning out. You can't see that their skin is turning red. You can't see that they're telling you all over the news right now to wear sunscreen before you go outside. What is it that you're looking for? You're looking for death? Well, that's coming to your way too. You better be mindful of what you're asking for. You be mindful of what you're asking for. You better be ready You better be ready for what you're asking for. That's all I'm saying to you. See, we want this thing to be over, but it has to deal with children. See, children are the ones that's going to suffer the most. Women and children are going to suffer the most, but more importantly, our children all over the planet. The universe don't want anything really to happen to the complex cell children. The adults, okay, you deal with your karma, but their children, she really don't want nothing to happen to them. So therefore, if she wanted to really flip this over in one day, it could have been flipped over in one day. She don't want nothing to happen to them, and she definitely don't want nothing to continue to happen to our babies. This is, and don't think because I said that the universe is like, oh, she's trying to put a cover over the complex cell children. No, she's not doing that. No, children do not have a right to be abused on any level. They don't. It's unfair for children to receive the type of abuse that they're receiving. It's psychological abuse. It ain't got nothing to do with physical abuse. It's psychological abuse. We are abusing our children. More importantly, we are the ones that are doing it. Other races of people are abusing their children by leading them down a pool pit of lies that's going to do nothing but end up in darkness for them. So that's abuse for their children. Our abuse for our children is that we're handing our children over to be medically evaluated and educated by the same bloodline that fed them the crocodiles, that have posters and pictures of showing crocodiles coming out of the sewage tunnel and snatching up babies. That's what that is. I don't know if that was shiz on there. So I want to know what you mean by when is it going to end? It already ended mentally for me years ago. It ended mentally for me years ago. That's why I'm able to speak the way that I'm speaking, move the way that I'm moving, because it ended for me years ago when I started waking up, coming back into my memory. You're not in your memory. You're in your feelings versus being in your memory. Because once you get in your memory, then you will start to see that this is coming to an end. This was a test. So let's not finish playing out the test. The most beautiful part is relearning. This is the beautiful part of remembering who you are. This is the whole thing about being here on earth. This was a test. And you have to be able to pass the test individually and see how we pass it collectively. That's it. So when you say you want it to end or when is it going to end, this shit ended for me. It may not end it for you because you still feel as though that there is a part of this world that you need. Maybe that's the case. Maybe you feel like, it's all about what you pay attention to. I seen a video the other day. Woman in the hospital, police officers around, the nurses around, the doctors around, trying to take her baby from her because she want to take her baby out the hospital. Now, mind you, this is a so-called black woman, mother of life with her child, trying to leave the hospital with her baby. And everybody standing around her is a complex cell organism. Everybody standing around them, his job is to get access to our children. I mean, what you mean? What is it that I can focus on that? Or we can start together as a unit and start focusing on the positive things that are taking place on the planet. That's it. We can focus on that. Or we can focus on the positive things. When women want to stand alone and not with their man or with a man, then you're going to be vulnerable. But once you understand that, once you are vulnerable, once the man is out of your life, once the man is not present in your life, you are a vulnerable woman, whether you want to accept that reality or not. You are vulnerable and our children are vulnerable. This is why Satan didn't talk to Adam in the garden. He talked to Eve. You don't get that? He didn't talk to Adam because he couldn't talk to Adam. He talked to Eve. This is what you don't understand. He was easily to manipulate Eve because a woman's mind is not physical. Her mind is spiritual. This is what you must understand is solar. You're in a solar system all the time. That's why you be like, la, 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 because you always up there. Whether you up there in Amazon and you at the fucking mall shopping, you thinking about the next dinner and restaurant you going to, you always the fuck up there. It's just being realistic. Men are not always up there. We only up there when we're with you, when you're giving us that positive energy. When you're saying, hey, babe, I love you. Yo, babe, I see you doing your thing. And through your actions, babe, I ran your bath water. Thank you, babe, for being who you are. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man, you're going to have some good loving tonight. That's when we get into that era. That's when we get up there. But for the most part, we grounded. We on the ground. We're watching hell. The average black man will tell you that we live in hell. Now, there you have a lot of so-called black men out here who will be like, well, we're in hell because we choose to be in here, and it has nothing to do with other races of people. And to a certain extent, that's the truth. But in all reality, no, it's not. No, it's not. We're not just in hell because we want to be here. No, we don't. We in hell because our mothers is teaching us to love hell. That's what it is. So we can get out of this shit if our mothers get out of it. Until you change so-called black women, we're never going to change. And this is why the Mother Universe has to step in. This is what you don't understand. Mother Universe has to step in. And she is now let her son go and said, okay, it's time for you to handle your business now. That's why the sons will be released first. We are going to be released first. And we are already showing it by the way that we're speaking, by the way that we're talking. A lot of us may not like Kevin Samuels, but Kevin Samuels came at a particular time and moment. I told y'all this already. Everybody has their moment. Everybody has their purpose. And he came at a moment that was much needed. That was much needed. Kevin Samuels was a reminder to so-called black men of our solar power, of our solar energy. It wasn't a knock on so-called black women. The only so-called black women that has a problem with Kevin Samuel are those that are following the complex cell way of life. But Kevin Samuels came at a time to tell so-called black men, you are worthy of something. You are important, brother. You are unique, brother. He was telling us what women should have been telling us, what our mother should have been telling us, and what most mothers tell their sons when they want to keep them captivated inside of the house and use them as their lonely pawn. Yes, because if I was to come home, if I was living with my mom and I'm fucking 19 years old and I tell my mom that I just met a girl and I met a girl at 19 and I'm working at Target and my paycheck is $500 and she told me she wanted me to get her hair and nails done and that cost $450 and my mom be like, where your paycheck at? Well, I just gave my girl because I wanted to get her hair and nails done, and just because. My mom would look at me and be like, yo, you's a fool. Stop playing with me. Don't give that girl all your money. Every mother would say that. So we don't act like we're not acting like, nah, any mother would say that. But however, when it's not your child, it's not your immediate child. Because see, this is where we go wrong. Because when we only care about our immediate child and not understanding that we're all each other's children. We are all each other's responsibility. So when we get that understood, when we get that part understood, then we will be better as a species, which we are going to get that. We're going to get that. It's coming. Although it's going to be harsh, it's going to be harsh, it's going to be painful, but the growth is needed. So this video, again, I'm going to go over this video one more time. Hey, She Golden, what's up, love? Abundance to you, beautiful. So I'm going to go over this video one more again. And this video, the whole premise of this video is to show you that all the cartoon characters that they depict in front of you, all of them get their energy from the sun. Every last one of them. All of them got their supernatural abilities from the sun. Every last one of them. So when this goes back over, I'm going to show you. Yes, in the context of the fictional species predator. So I would really hope people, when y'all ask the question, like, when is this going to be over? It's already over. It's already over. You better be grateful that Mother Universe is giving you time to remember who you are. So that way you can remember how to surf and navigate in this fucking forest that you live in. That's what Mother Universe is doing. This tribulation period is to give you time to remember who you are. And for you to get back on your fucking game. Because if you full of mucus, if you full of inflammation, if you full of acid, that's your ass. Mother Universe is giving you ample amount of time for you to get back to what you need to get back to. So you better be grateful to Mother Universe. That's what a lot of us don't understand that. You don't get it. A lot of us don't. Some of us was eating horrible as shit 7 years ago. And what happened when you started waking up? You started changing your appetite. You started changing your diet. You started exercising. You start feeling better about yourself internally to externally. You no longer look at the external and be like, oh, I need to put this on to cover this up, put this on to cover this up. No, you looking internal. Let me take care of this. I'm not eating this garbage, and I'm eating less. My mind is firing off much faster. I'm able to process information a lot quicker, and I'm able to see things for what they are versus the way they want me to see them. See, so don't get it twisted. Mother Universe is doing us a favor. She's doing exactly what a mother would do to her child. She wants to see you grow, but you got to want to see you grow for yourself. The problem is with the mothers today versus what Mother Universe is. See, Mother Universe will sit you there on the side and say, walk. You got to learn how to walk. The Mother Universe, and then when you fall down, Mother Universe don't run over to you and like, let me pick my baby up. No, because she know you're going to fall. Get your ass back up and start to walk. Get better. See, Spider-Man came from what? A bite from a green, look, radioactive spider. Radioactive spider. That's where Spider-Man, and that's why you see all the hair. You see spiders with a lot of hair for their central nervous system and their peripheral nervous system, because that your hair is magnetism, and it gives you warnings. That's why Spider-Man had that super warning that he can spot danger because of the hair follicles. The Credible Hulk. How did he become the Credible Hulk? Through gamma radiation. They were working in a nuclear science lab, messing with radiation, and what happened? It exploded, and the particles bonded with the cells of an individual, and he became the Credible Hulk internally. Superman generates his powers from what? The sun. Let me see something here. Yeah. Superman generates his powers from what? The sun. He always, whenever Superman needed to heal himself, whenever Superman wanted to get super stronger than what he did, he always went towards the sun to regenerate itself and be even more stronger. If Superman gets his powers from the sun, only soaking up a portion of its energy, how does he wind up becoming cosmically more powerful than the sun as a whole? I mean, he held an entire black hole in his hand. Has this ever been proven or explained? Okay, let me see something here. My apologies, people. Let me see, how can I do this? All right. Okay, anyway, we're going to go over to Black Adam. In some portrayals, Black Adam has been depicted drawing power from the sun, which could be seen as charging up from it. This aligns with the concept of the solar energy being a potential source of power. For him, drawing inspiration from the ancient Egyptian gods associated with the sun. Black Adam. See, the only reason why these are fiction movies, as I told you, is because of the people, the species that they're using to depict the characters. That's it. See this right here? When you look at the universe, what do any solar physicist will tell you? That we live in an electric universe. We live in an electric universe. But the problem is this man is not black. So they wanted to use someone that has U melanin in their skin. That's what they wanted to use, someone that has U melanin. They couldn't use someone that pure neuromelanin. While not explicitly stated or shown in every portrayal, Black Adam as an ancient god king is often depicted as drawing power from the sun and cosmic energy. This aligns with the Egyptian gods he is associated with, who often held solar deities as deities or as their deities. Let me finish reading this because it's going to go up some more. Elaboration. Here we go right here. Ancient God King. Black Adam origin story involves a time when he was a god king in ancient Egypt, which connects him to the worship of solar deities, solar and cosmic powers. While he is known for his lightning powers, some interpretations suggest that he can also draw power from the sun. Yes, in the context of the fictional species predator from the movies, they are implied to have a preference for hot, external climates. Though they can survive in cold environments, their blood is also described as having luminescent phosphorus green color. What is that luminescent phosphorus green color? Gamma radiation. Gamma radiations. Understand that. And it's so funny, right? Let me just make this clear. This screen that I got on right here, it wasn't intentional for me to wear green and do this. I was just sitting back, and I'm always thinking about things where though I can bring our people, as more importantly, our children, back into their memory. You know what I'm saying? Anything that can unlock the blockages that are holding you back from trusting, believing, and knowing thyself versus worshiping something outside of you. You see what I'm saying? So, yes, climatologists say that the planet is continuing to heat up, and this warming is driven by human activities. Now, when did Predator show up to the planet? Predator always showed up to the planet when it was burning hot. Primarily the emission of greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases, what you see right now, solar borealis, as well as gamma radiation. What color is that? Green. The Earth's average surface temperature has increased by 1.1 Celsius to 1.9 Fahrenheit since the pre-industrial period, 1850 to 1900. Projected warming over the next century, even with aggressive mitigation efforts, is expected to be at least, it's expected to be at least warmer than than was seen over the last year. So, again, all of this right here is to show you where you get your strength from. You get your powers from what? You get your powers from what? You get your true powers from what? The sun. And they use all of these people to depict your natural abilities. Now that's where right now we would have what you call dormant genetics, and that dormant genetics. Oh, let me see what this is. I thought this was shiz. That dormant genetics is what? 97% junk DNA. That's all it is. That's all it is, and the sun is unlocking that. So let me give y'all a little 3D talk too, which has to do with the ninth dimension. So we're going to go from the third dimension to the ninth dimension, because whatever's happening in the solar system is a direct reflector of what's going on down here. Whatever's happening down here is a direct reflector of what's going on in the solar system. So y'all do know that China has cut back their shipments to the United States, right? And starting on May the 15th, they have cut back even more of their shipments to the United States, supposedly based upon the tariffs that are here, right? So you have hospitals that are shutting down because you get all your medical supplies from where? You have a lot of businesses that are shutting down, as far as delivery businesses that are shutting down because you get your deliveries or you get your toys and you get all your stuff from where? So now what's happening is the squeeze is starting. And the squeeze is going to continue through May, June, July. Mind you, once the shipments really slow down, which is after May 15, just look for the bullshit to start happening. Because now I'm looking forward to seeing who this next pope is supposed to be. Because they're going to usher in a one world religion. And the one world religion will have to do with Pindar, Moloch, the Dragon King. That's all it is. So all of this stuff is coming to light. And I want my brothers and sisters to understand one thing, man. I really want y'all to understand something. I want my brothers and sisters to truly understand something. The ones that are on social media, right? And that you are literally speaking your truth, right? And your truth is correlation and matching up with the fact what these people don't want you to talk about. They want you to talk about slavery. They want you to talk about black people getting beat up, black people getting shot. They want you to talk about white people unjustly, so-called white people treating us unjustly, right? They want you to speak about that. They want you to continue to talk about those things, because those things absolutely means absolutely nothing. All you're doing is wasting energy. However, but for those that are talking about the real topics that they don't want you to talk about, like the difference in our genetics versus their genetics, the fact that the sun is heating up and now it is unwrapping the DNA that was dormant inside of us, and what it's doing with their DNA, it is literally breaking them down anatomically. Listen, they are becoming extra and extra more tired. They don't even want to come outside. I'm not saying that you and I or some of our species are not tired either. Look at the foods that they're eating versus look at how we eat. Look at our health and look at their health. Black people are the leading ones in fucking diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure. If you look at other races of people, they're not as a whole looking and dealing with those type of ailments as much as we are. Not saying that they're not, because they're dealing with all other shit, but not dealing with those type of ailments. So I want you to understand something. These people are breaking down to the point that they don't want to come out of bed. When they get out of bed, their bodies are aching. It's very sore for them when they're moving around. Their minds are clouded. You know what I'm saying? They're not able to make good decisions because of what's happening with them anatomically. This is what's going on with them, and they're doing their best to cover it up as much as they possibly can. This is not a hatred video for them. This is actually giving you a warning. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen with a lot of the people that have watched my videos that has called me racist or hatred. Over time, you're going to see that I actually care. I actually have a genuine heart, because I came to give you a warning about your future and what you have, the future and what you have created for yourself. I didn't create your future. You created your future with your present and past actions. This is how you are creating your future. Just like we created our future with our past actions that allowed you to have access to us and access to our children. So I'm not here to defend myself, and nor am I here to explain to you in every fucking video that I don't want anything to happen to you. I just want us to separate by any means necessary. I'm not going to do that shit every video. However, over time, you are going to find a great appreciation for what I was saying on my videos. You're going to find that. You're going to say, you know what? I got to give it to him. No, he never stated that he wanted us to die. He never wanted us to be enslaved. He never said none of that shit. He just said that we are genetically different from these people, and based upon our past actions with our ancestors or your forefathers. I don't want to say ancestors. Based on your past actions with your forefathers and your current actions with this psychological manipulation, and that we are literally abusing a group of people, this is what's our destiny going to be. And our destiny is going to be unable to walk up underneath that sun. We're going to have very short to little to no vegetation. And guess what? It's going to force us, due to the fact that we're going to be hungry. It's going to mess with our psyche, and we're going to start to eat human flesh. That's it. That's not hatred for you. That is just giving you the truth. And because I'm telling you this, it sounds hatred at a time that your government is, that the education system that has lied to you for so long, and you have accepted it. And you know what? You can't even blame it on your education system. You have to look at your parents. You have to look at the ones that raised you, because they didn't give a French toast about you. Because if they did, then they would have stopped doing what they're doing. You can't say, I'm not beating black people. I'm not raping black people. So therefore, I am not going to be judged for the abuse and atrocities that took place with black people. That's a fucking lie. See, that's something you're telling yourself so you can sleep comfortable at night. But that's not true, because everything that you have to let it go. You see, there shouldn't be no black people homeless. There should be no black people asking for food. There should be no black people being in your prisons. There should be no black people, no black children underneath the control of your child protective services. You have to let us go in our entirety. And because you're a part of the species that did not let us go, you are going to receive the same punishment and the same judgment as one of those that refused to let us go and willingly wanted to abuse us. That's all I'm saying to you. That is not racist. That is not pointing the finger directly at you as an individual. Let me just tell you this. I believe that Mr. MB33, I believe that Gina Marie, I believe that BP Earthwatch, I believe that them three people right there will not hang of black children, will not fucking feed black children to crocodiles, will not skin black children alive, and will not experiment on black children. However, I believe that I know that they have the potential to be dark towards our people. Just understand that. That doesn't mean that you will carry out those acts, but you have the potential to carry out certain acts. And because that is the case, we have to separate from one another. Because you want to live in a delusional world, we have to separate from one another. That's all it is. These houses that you see and these forests that supposedly be your these beautiful communities. No, this is a forest. They all have to be gone. Everything has to be gone. So because you're not willing to walk away from everything that you have taken from black people and used black people for, you are going to receive the same punishment. Now, your punishment may not be as steep as your scientists, your law enforcement, your military, because they out of here out automatically. Gone. There's no rap with them because they see and know what's going on. They're gone. But you, on the other hand, you might have to walk around with a little bit of fear, meaning that, something might eat you. You may not, you're not going to be able to come outside in the daytime. And you have to realize that you have to scavenge for some food. Those are the things that you're going to have to do. The same type of shit that went on with us, you're going to have to experience it to a certain extent. You won't experience slavery unless you all enslave each other. But as far as, living peacefully and think you're going to live your days out drinking green tea and fucking doing sound bowls and yoga, nah, that's not happening. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. That is not happening. I can guarantee you that. So all the ones that say, well, I never did this to black people. I never did. I don't give a French toast. You're living off of us. Simple as that. They're living off of us. So you have to deal with that. So I value you all. I appreciate you all. Starseeds, listen, don't let nobody manipulate you. Don't let nobody lie to you and tell you you ain't got no beautiful heart because you don't want to be around a group of people that fucking rape and abuse you and continuing to abuse you by telling you you need to be educated and that you need to pay for apples, oranges, pineapples, and mangoes and fucking green vegetables. Don't let nobody try to manipulate you out of no shit like that. They want you to be a slave. That's all it is. Stop letting these people that so-called have success and so-called, I got money, I could buy this, I could buy. That's a proud slave. That's a fool. That's who that's the person that they want. That's why they showcase them all the time. But a person that don't buy into none of that, no, they don't showcase them because you know why? Because we all, us people, the ones that's very small, we knows the truth. When you walk into a grocery store, right? You see how happy people be in a grocery store? That's foolishness. You're literally going in a grocery store to pay for shit that the earth provides for you. That's fucking mental illness. You're literally going to pay for water and it comes from the earth. That's mental illness. And they want to say that you're mental illness because you no longer want to participate in this shit. No. It's like what it is they were so much enslaved that they don't mind enslaving you. That's the issue. See? And they want you to have that same mentality. But you're waking up, Starseeds. You're not falling for this shit no more. You don't want to be a part of it no more. And all you have to do is for you not to want to be a part of it, have it in your heart and your mind. I don't want to be a part of the adult children that want to live like them. I don't want to be a part of the adult children. That's all you got to keep saying. That's all you just keep saying. I don't want to be a part of it. That's it. Y'all have let us y'all have abandoned us, and I'm a part of that too. This is what you should say. Y'all adults have abandoned us. Y'all abandoned us for your own selfish needs and want. All you adults, all y'all talk about is partying, going out, fucking, dealing with each other in short-term relationships with no fucking long-term results. That's it. That's what's all happening. And you should say, you know what, Starseeds? I don't want to be a part of these grown-ass children that want to be slaves. Point blank and simple. I value you all. I appreciate you. Have an amazing, supreme, cosmic rest of your day.